and forget the role. He wants a bigger payday. I understand it. I think 26 was fair if they could meet in the middle. But if you're telling me you're going to run this back, 2019 you were close. Last year you were close. Couple NFC championship heartbreaks, injuries, that you're going to try to defend the the NFC without one Brandon Aiyuk, I just think that's a nightmare.
I'll tell you what, if what you said is correct, I wouldn't pay him in a million years. You said he wants a bigger role, and he probably does.
That means numbers.
He's not going to get it here. He's not getting that here. That is not hard to see.
Now, I don't want to be negative. I told you some private stuff, you and E during the break. Insurance is key in life. Insurance. But what if something were to happen to Brandon Aiyuk? What if something were to happen to McCaffrey and you had to put the ball in the air? No, you're not.
No,
you got to diversify your portfolio. That's why you got a guy that you think is worth 50 to 60 M's. He can throw the ball. Who do you want him throwing it to? Debo plus Kittle plus Aiyuk. Steiny, it's a strength in numbers, but not when you subtract. That's all.
All I'm telling you is he's not getting a bigger role here. And whether it's unfair or not, it doesn't matter. We all know.
Well,
he's not getting a bigger role here. And
that's why I brought up the injury.
And maybe they all know that. Well, the 49ers know it, and they know he catches 4.5 balls a game, and they're saying, because you don't have a bigger role, we can't pay you like other players who have a bigger role. It sucks, but you play for the San Francisco 49ers, and we run the ball a hell of a lot. And when we don't run it, we love throwing it to our running back, and we love throwing it to this guy, Debo Samuel. And, oh, by the way, we got a hell of a tight end. Now.
Well, do you fault both parties in this right now then? Because I do. 50-50. Either get traded, take a trade, just say no, something. Steiny, this is ridiculous. And I think it's making the Niners look bad.
And how will that affect anything? Like if people think the 49ers
Well, it's what
bad.
you guys talked about, and I heard Butch and Evan touch on it. Steiny, if people are pocket watching players amongst themselves in that locker room and they feel like Aiyuk is getting done wrong, or they are questioning why did the running back situation, why was that so easy? I mean, that can manifest into something. Now, it wouldn't be on the field, but you never know.
I just don't understand.
But what about the Warriors when but they want a chip after? No, that was after the chip. Dre and Clay had a problem with two of their brethren getting contracts. Think about that.
I mean, we all ask, hey, why do you think why was it so easy with McCaffrey? Because he's more important.
Well, Trent is right behind him.
That's fine. But
if you use that thought process.
And he probably is.
But where is he?
They don't just give out money to everybody who wants it.
But McCaffrey?
That's because he's important.
I'm not arguing that he's not, but
all I can tell you is they have three guys who wanted more money. Aiyuk, Trent Williams, McCaffrey. They gave it to McCaffrey. That tells you that he was the highest priority. They also probably knew that Trent Williams hates training camp, so there's no real reason to treat Trent Williams with urgency back in May or June.
Well, his guaranteed money ran out, so we know
that.
But okay.
They know, but why would they negotiate with Trent Williams in June and he signs the contract in June? He doesn't want to come to training camp. Well, they know he doesn't want to come.
Camp's over now, Steiny.
Yeah, and now they're working on it, and people are optimistic. Larry.
What you got?
He's not McCaffrey, and he's not Purdy, and he's not Bosa, and he's not Trent Williams. Those are the four high priorities on the 49ers, and he ain't one of them.
Well, come up with a solution.
They are. Play on 14 or sit out. Let's go to Larry, San Francisco. What's up, Larry? How you doing?
I'm all right, fellas. I'm going to defend Brandon Aiyuk a little bit here. I was coming in with something, but I've been listening to you all. First of all, I'm not going to blame Brandon Aiyuk for not being traded because the Niners control that, their job. And so they got a Pittsburgh offer. They could have took it. The other thing is they could have took any other offer and said, Brandon, you're going. Now, Brandon, it's the other team's manager to get Brandon to sign to convince him to stay or tag him and get him 2 years. That's not a Brandon idea, power move. That's Niners saying, okay, we kind of still want him, but we want him how we want him. So I'm not gonna put that on Brandon because the Niners control that. Am I right?
No, you're wrong. Hey, you're right, but you're wrong. What team would give up resources with the flip of the coin, not knowing that the guy that we traded for is going to stay here? Who would do that? So that's why it's on Brandon.
Well, I'll say it this way.
Okay.
That is them having convinced Brandon to stay. Like, if you want this player, here are the terms and conditions. And the Niners can say, we'll let him go. Will you sign him? Now, if the other team says, nah, we don't like what Brandon's saying, then that's their decision. Brandon does not have the power to say, I'm staying or going. He has the power to say, I probably won't re-sign. Okay, we're going to franchise you. Like, the team has power here. And so that's why I'm going, we can blame Brandon for not being amenable, but the teams have the power in this situation from my perspective. And what's up with the Pittsburgh deal? That's the other thing.
Larry,
and then the last thing, because I know I got to go.
Go ahead.
Is Trent getting fined? Is Trent getting fined?
Yes.
He has a contract too.
No, he's getting fined. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
So that makes it look at least like
Right.
players are saying, okay, both have contracts. They're both getting fined. They're both not here. You know, Lynch talks about Trent in a more fluffy way.
Right.
But as long as they're getting treated, because they're both integral parts. The other three players get hurt. McCaffrey gets hurt. Debo gets hurt. Kittle gets hurt. Aiyuk has been consistent. You got to look at that. Thank you all for taking my call.
Good stuff, Larry. Appreciate the call. I mean, no team is going to want
That, talk to me, man.
Brandon Aiyuk. And, hey, we'll worry about paying you.
Or franchise you.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, whose fault is it?
Everybody.
I don't, how do I want to put this? Because I don't think the 49ers are, their heart, I don't believe the heart of the 49ers really believes they want to sign Aiyuk for 27, 28, wow. 29, 30. I just, they don't want to do it. I don't feel, I could be wrong. And so that's why, like, I don't blame Brandon Aiyuk at all. But the 49ers have the cards. And they can start playing them. And clearly they were waiting to jump into this game until the 53-man roster was done.
Well, I just know this, partner, in sports, you draft, first you scout, you draft, you raise the player, you hope the player takes strides. And that's what Brandon Aiyuk, since he's been a 49er, Steiny, has done. And again, I'm putting this on Brandon. It may be unfair if he were asking for Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb money, but 27, 26, maybe even 28, I understand. But I just don't get why the Niners would buck the system on a homegrown player that was showing major promise. And, you know, I brought up divorce yesterday. Steiny, when couples get divorced, you say who's to blame. You never really get that answer, you know. Only the two people know. But I just, if you're telling me that they're playing, the Niners have the cards to play or power, but is that really good power? Is it really a good hand if you take the field week 1, week 2, week 3, and you're playing this game of chicken? Well, this thing is going to hijack the season like the Kevin Durant departure. What was he going to do? Remember that? That went the whole – I don't remember a situation like this in the Bay at all, Steiny. I just don't. The Kevin Durant, what are you going to do when the season's over? But not anything remotely close like this.
The 49ers have given Brandon Aiyuk a long-term contract for a high number. They've weighed that. And so far they've said no. The better choice is to start fining him and dare him not to play for $14 million. Like, that's what they've clearly decided right now. So when you say, oh, but they're jeopardizing this and you know, he's a great weapon and they're a better team. They know all that. And they're still going down this road. So, I mean, here's the other thing. I mean, we all know Aiyuk didn't get off to a great start here with Kyle Shanahan. Something was going on. And then what did the caller say about the Super Bowl and he didn't like his role or something like that?
No, remember, he was damn near in tears when it was over, but he went to John, I'm paraphrasing, went to John and Kyle saying, I could do more, and maybe the game would have been different. I'm Team Aiyuk, Steiny. I think the dude's talented, man. So much so that he, you know, whatever you want to put him, top 10, 12, the dude's a difference maker. How about that?
I don't think he is as much as you think he is.
Wow. And I'll tell you what.
I think he's a good receiver.
Yeah. If I'm Robert Saleh in the Jets defense, if you're telling me there's no Aiyuk and I just got to plan for, and it's going to be a bear anyway, but I got to just plan for some average guys on the left side, Debo and McCaffrey up the middle, I'll take that all day if I can remove that component of Aiyuk. Like, man, I just think they're easier to guard.
Yeah. Maybe Cowing's harder to guard than Aiyuk. I don't know.
Pearsall.
Philmo Mike.
Our man.
What's up, Philmo?
Hey, what's up with y'all, man?
Hey.
You got to get on the golf, Tiny. But listen, and Guru, too, you got to work on your swing. Anyway, I don't know why is Parag Marate, why is he giving all this power? He's not. What is he doing? He was supposed to be keeping a budget in order. Nick Bosa blew him a new one. So why is he getting all this power and leadway to run the Niners? Someone needs to put a foot down and be like, man, what's up, bro? That's the first thing. He's getting way too much credit and leeway and power. Forget all that crap. Sign this man. That's for one. For two, we should have been signed him. Why are you using what you've done in the past? Just because you did it in the past don't mean it worked. Okay, you got away with it last year. You got the number one seed. Bosa had an average season. That don't mean you should do it every year. You hijacked one season, Debo's season. Bosa didn't have a good year. Why wasn't he signed when Devontae Smith was signed? And the thing about Aiyuk, it's not that Aiyuk is the greatest player, but you know what he does do? I like to play Madden. Sometimes you put somebody out there, you just want variety of talent and options.
Yeah.
You put somebody, you feel me? When you got Aiyuk out there, you gonna leave him one-on-one? He's I hear he's top 3, 4, 5 route runner, and he's super efficient. So it's like, if you would have signed him when you should have signed him and stopped playing these games and letting Parag Marate run your franchise, this wouldn't have been a problem. He should have been signed right after the Super Bowl. Get him signed. Get it out the way.
Thanks, Philmo.
Nah, a lot of good points. And look, we're all human, Steiny. You are sometimes. But listen, we listen to these pressers when they're done. I'm going Farhan. I'm going Bob Myers, Joe Lacob, Dunleavy now, the A's. And you can tell a scammer. You can tell, it's my prerogative. It's my belief. But some guys pass the test and gals to where you're like, you know what? Evan's real. I believe Evan. I would buy from Evan. And I bring all that up because when I listen to Lynch and Shanny talk after they got all these deal done, going back to Warner, going back to Kittle, I bought what they were selling, Steiny, and his signal to me is Guru. We got our books in order. We tackle things before they get big, kind of like Mike was talking about. And lo and behold, here we are with not one, and I know Trent Williams, they kind of wink deal, but Steiny, 2 guys are not here, and it just has me thinking like I bought something that might not have been real.
Not necessarily. Maybe they have their books in order, and these three guys are effing it up.
But wouldn't you have a plan? Well, I guess.
Yes. Sit out.
Or get traded. But I guess I'm like yesterday, I didn't like Lynch saying, he was saying what was in his heart. Sometimes you just got to play football. Well, do something. Somebody make something happen. And that's why I'm yelling at Aiyuk too with that. This is getting embarrassing. It really is.
Contract negotiation.
And then Jerry Rice, what was that, 21 days ago now, had me thinking, we'll know tomorrow, Goo. No, we won't. When's this going to end, Steiny? That's all. We're tired.
You said, when are they going to do something? And I would submit they started doing something yesterday. That's apparent to me.
Yes, I got you.
Joe's in Illinois. What's up, Joseph? How you doing, man?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Talk to us.
Yeah.
All right. Aiyuk. As far as I know, the Pittsburgh trade was still on the table. Management, Lynch, thought that they wouldn't get enough for him. So they nixed the deal off. It's on the table, but they haven't agreed to it. That's one situation. So the Pittsburgh deal, as far as I know, is still on it. He just felt like he wasn't being compensated enough. Then Aiyuk can stay out, if I'm not mistaken, about like 7 games
6
and come
weeks.
in the 6 weeks and still be eligible for free agency.
Yep.
So you have that scenario. Then I look at the salary cap. I want to get you guys' thoughts on this, because the quarterback's salary has gone up so high. Do you think it would be a great idea if they would negate the starting quarterback salary from the salary cap?
How would they do
go
that?
Against the salary cap, huh?
How would they do that?
Well, if they had the if they came into I guess it would have to happen through their bargaining agreement, that they would have to negotiate it with the players and the owners that, you know what,
yeah,
the is going up so astronomically.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We're going to negate. Yeah, we can negate
I got you.
The quarterback. The starting quarterback salary against the salary cap, and then you have more money to spread out.
No, I appreciate the call, Joe. I didn't. That's right. I've heard something like that too, but I don't think it's going to happen imminently. The NFL is considering doing something with quarterbacks where their money won't count against the cap, or at least not the whole thing, something like that. That's what Joe was talking about. However, I don't think it's going to happen before Purdy gets signed.
Yeah.
Let's put it this week. Yeah, let's put it that way. The Niners still have to come to terms with Aiyuk or try to force him to play on his $14.1 million contract for this season. It's according to Tim Kawakami. If there's no deal soon, it's probably safe to assume that Aiyuk would skip at least the first few games and probably report in time to play 6 games and qualify for free agency next year.
Now that would be more than a circus.
49ers could still keep his rights by franchise tagging him for 2025, but by that point, would it be worth
the headache?
Yeah.
Because that's what you said he would be if you don't even want him around if he's playing for that $14 million.
No, I didn't say that.
I wouldn't.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
He would be so
I'll give him a chance. I'll give him a chance to show that he can.
Well, something would have had to change with this mindset of like, well, from the start we were doing this and I tried to call their bluff until the end and it didn't work. But other than that, Steiny, what would make his ass come back and want to play after going through all this?
He maybe realizes he's got no clout, that he's got none, that the 49ers are down to 2 choices, play or sit.
Or be lesser on the field without you. I think that's what we're missing.
And they factored that in, and they're still going down this road. Like, that's the other thing. It's gotten to the point, we can't, he's not here.
Yeah.
We're getting hurt. Yeah, they know that. And they're still going down this road. Dennis is in Walnut Creek. What's up, Dennis? How you doing, man?
Okay, fine. Here's my proposal. This is what needs to be done. The 49ers give Aiyuk 24 hours to make a decision. And you know what options he has. If he does not make a decision, then they tell him, we're going to make whatever deal we want to make, and you may end up in Atlanta, you may end up with the Patriots. But here's my question to both of you, and this has never been mentioned. Do you see a scenario where the league could step in?
No.
At all.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't. And the other problem with the 49ers, nobody wants to make a deal for Brandon Aiyuk knowing they're going to have to sign him to a long-term contract if they want him the whole way.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot for the call,
And
Dennis.
that's not attractive. That was our call previously that was bringing that point up.
And that's why the Steelers apparently were willing to pay Aiyuk a certain amount of money, and he either didn't want to go there, or what I still think's on the table is the Niners didn't like what they were getting back from Pittsburgh, so the Niners said, nope.
But that hasn't been reported. What's
been reported by me.
Yeah, but what's been reported more, Steiny, is that Brandon didn't want to go to those cities. And this is why I got to be careful. Norm always told me, son, love who loves you. And if Brandon Aiyuk is looking around and reading the room, the Niners don't love you like that. And if Cleveland or Pittsburgh were ready to ante up, go leave. I know you're from Rockland and you're from out here, but damn.
I mean,
don't sit at home week 1, son, and come back week 6.
Why? Why not?
That's not playing the sport you love.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Go get that bag if somebody else is asking for it.
But here's the thing. Okay, you think it's been all Aiyuk. What's been reported that John Lynch wants to get back? At least one first-round pick.
Well, that would explain why we're
exactly. That's what I think.
Well, what about the goal line with Pittsburgh? You think they were sending the one back? I don't.
Who said the goal? Like Filippone?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's. I'm not hitting any reporter, but I'm just not convinced that the Pittsburgh Steelers had a number for Aiyuk. He was good with it, and then the Niners were also good with the package. If the 49ers, if what
you have nothing to prove you're wrong, Steiny.
If the 49ers were really going for a first-round pick under any circumstances, then I don't think they really were interested in making a move. I think I'll say it. I will say it. I think their interest for months has been make him play on the $14 million because we can't get